What's up, everyone? Last episode of The Bachelor. Here with Ryan and Allie. How we doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
We're good. We're
Fine.
pretty good.
Yeah, we're all right, I guess. So last night, final episode, and they had the final rose ceremony. Let's just get right to it. So to start, Matt or Michelle and Rachel meet Matt's mom and his brother. I kind of thought it was weird that Matt had that long talk about how his dad, like he wanted his dad to be a part of whoever he dates life and then just not to meet him. I don't know. I feel like then that conversation didn't necessarily need to be had on TV, but his brother and mom then meet Michelle. How'd you guys think that one went? I personally thought it went like very well.
I did too. I mean, his brother also cracked me up kind of because first off, his hair just switched. And like, I don't know how when they filmed this, but it was like one day it was this one look, and then the next day I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. He also looked like Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, he did.
I saw a lot of TikToks like, what the fuck is Nipsey Hussle doing on my screen? But yeah, no, when you texted me that, I was like, I didn't even notice that. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh damn, like he really switched up his hair real quick.
Yeah. And he was asking like the hard hitting questions. So I mean,
Those felt
Good for
so scripted. The only thing we're missing were note cards.
yeah.
Yeah, scripted or not, though, it's a tough question to answer if he's like nagging you on it.
Yeah.
Like, you still
Yeah. He didn't even put the hi hello. He was like, okay, so what are your intentions with my brother?
yeah. No, definitely. I thought Michelle handled it well. I thought they liked her. And then I don't know, I kind of felt like the same thing for both. Like I thought they liked both. Here's my thought though. I think his mom liked Michelle more, and she kind of had a sense of Matt liked Rachel more, but she didn't think that they were like ready. So behind like a scene that got cut out, I think was like her kind of sent. They had some talk, and he probably tells her that he's picking Rachel, and that's when she starts bringing up the whole marriage thing because it was like wild. Like they're like, yeah, she's like, I love both of them and all that stuff, and then Matt, it was like kind of like I don't know. I feel like people have been kind of thinking this whole time that like he's not ready, and then
Yeah.
it took him his mom saying that for him to be like, "Oh fuck, I might be engaged in a day." Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's your whole fucking point of this show. Like, what? Like, I don't. Like, it was kind of crazy. What do you guys think of that? We're skipping Michelle's first day. We'll go up to that after though. But like, I mean, Matt's whole mindset changed after he had like basically him and his brother talking to him, or his mom and brother talk, and then they were like, "Yeah, you got to get married." Actually,
Go ahead, Allie.
Well, so yeah, it definitely seems like whatever his mom said, he went on an immediate downward spiral and was like, I don't want to get married at all. Like, no, because like, which I found kind of wild because like, sure, his mom was pretty much just saying what we all kind of knew. It was kind of obvious. Like, obviously, he's going to be supposed to be getting engaged in the next episode. So you'd think he'd have more of like a spiral after that conversation he had with his dad, where his dad was just kind of like, yeah, I cheated, like whatever, deal with it. Like I feel like I'd be more a wreck after that, but instead like his mom just being like, yeah, you actually have to get engaged tomorrow, which is like basically like saying what we all already know. He's like, what?
Yeah, it almost seems like he got caught up into it felt like a game show mentality until like you get to like four or five girls, and they're like, oh wait a minute, like I'm starting to get serious here. Like he never got off that vibe you have when there's like 26 or whatever girls there. It's just like one big party for a few weeks. It just kind of seems like he's stuck with that vibe the entire time.
yeah, definitely, and like it was, and I agree with you, Allie. Like I agree with both of you. I think he like that vibe he gave off the entire time was kind of just like, oh, like this actually ends at some point, and I have to pick someone. Like I kind of thought I was just gonna have fun this whole time, and like to your point, Allie, like the conversation he had with his mom was just like, yo, just know that marriage is like a very tough thing. and you have to do other things than just fall in love at first to keep a marriage last. And then he was like, oh, light bulb. Oh shit, I don't know if I can get married. It's like, yo, like you didn't know that was like what marriage is. Like you firsthand
Yeah.
saw that your parents like struggled through a marriage. Like I'm sure you know people who struggled through marriage. Like it's tough. So like it was kind of weird just to hear that that comment, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh wow, yeah, marriage is hard. It's like, come on, man, you had to know that before. But then yeah, to your point, like his dad's conversation was like the one that was like hard hitting. Like you said, he basically was like, I cheated, deal with it. Like no one's perfect. And like he wasn't like second guessing after that one. Maybe it was because he was going to the fantasy suites.
Right. True.
But like,
maybe.
I so like it was just kind of like it was kind of odd just because like I could see if you're like halfway through the show and you're like, okay, like being with all these women, I definitely do not think I'm ready. But I don't know, like for you to get the last point and then be like, yo, marriage is hard. It's just like, I don't know, it kind of just makes me think like the whole time he wasn't really ever planning on getting engaged with anyone.
Right.
Like he was kind of in the back of his head, like he was okay with that. And but then Chris Harrison and him talk, and we were talking about it in our chat last night, and like Chris Harrison was just like being a total dick. He was just like, "So you're telling me you're not getting engaged?" And it's like, yeah, Chris, like it's not that wild to not want to get engaged after 3 months. Like, I mean, maybe he could have went about it a different way or what, but like that's not the craziest thing in the world for a person that want to be engaged. So,
right. I saw some tweets where it was like Chris Harrison in that moment was like catering to the show and to the the fame of the show and not to Matt's feelings.
Yeah,
and I was like, that should be a sign that he might suck a little bit.
I feel like if we go back and like I don't know, it's being brought to light this season, but I feel like if you go back and kind of watch other seasons, like I bet you can pick some points where it's like, yeah, Chris Harrison did not give a fuck other than ratings.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, definitely. And then let's move on to Michelle's dates. So they just jumped off the freaking hotel. Like it was,
yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of felt pointless to me.
Right. I saw this tweet that was like, Matt's been trying to kill these women all season.
I did see that. Yeah.
And I was like, he is.
Like it was just like, I don't know. So obviously he sends her home, and my thought was like, you could have like, if you were thinking or trying to get to like, are we serious or not with this girl? Like, don't you think you could have done like a nice little dinner or something? Like, talk to her. Like, you guys were jumping off a freaking hotel. Like,
yeah. He definitely made it obvious when he was kind of like, to people.
Yeah. What did you guys think about the full date though?
I thought the dates were kind of like, I know we talked about it yesterday. It didn't need to be 3 hours, or I felt like after the meetings with his mom, I feel like they could have gone like right into it. I feel like we knew enough about them, like Rachael and Matt, and then Matt and Michelle, enough to where I didn't think the dates were much needed at all.
Yeah, I only think the date I think they could have just showed the part of like him and Michelle having dinner and breaking up, basically. Like they could have just jumped it. Like the whole date part meant nothing. And like to your point, Allie, like he wasn't really into it. Like she pulled out those jerseys and was like, I know Mr. James can change the world. And he was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you doing? Like, and then like I was like, okay, maybe you know what, he's maybe kind of feeling it. And when she pulled out her jersey, he was just like, yeah, this is stupid. What are we doing? Like, I felt so bad. That was so brutal. Yeah. That was.
It said Mrs. James. Oh my God. Sorry, that's my cat.
No, you're fine. Yes, it said Mrs. James. And I don't know, this has been a theme for Matt, but like, why can't he just let women go to the rose ceremony?
Yeah. He just had to be like, we're done. We're freaking done. Like, that was painful for me to watch because she whips out this little jersey all excited, like, and he just is like, no, like his face. Okay. Oh my God, it's Evie.
But she was definitely thinking like when she made those jerseys and pulling them out, like, oh, he's gonna love this. Like she definitely had that in the back of her head. Like, we're gonna change the world together. We're gonna do this, and like, And then he just was like, yeah, well, it's me, not you. You should leave. Like,
It seems to be a common thing because I know it seems like whenever a girl like tried to give him like it wasn't all like laughs and games, like when they tried to get real, like trying to figure out where his head was at, or they tried to like show that like, yeah, I'm here for something more than laughs, then
yeah.
like you could see his walls just went right up. Because the same thing happened with um Abigail when she was trying to figure out where his head was at. Then
Abigail, Janessa, like
Yeah.
it's like 5 girls that
Yeah.
happened to. Where the
Yeah.
moment they tried to get real with him, he's like, actually, you gotta go home. Like, I just like, I don't know. It was tough to watch. Huh?
He was like, I'm gonna stop you right there. This
Yeah.
isn't happening.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. It was just like it kind of seemed like he wanted the girl to be completely off for him, and then the moment he got her there, the chase is done. He's like, all right, I'm done. Michelle was like the most one
Yeah.
other than Rachel, because I do like, I don't think he wanted to pick anyone, but I do think he liked Rachel the most out of all of them. But like, it seemed like Michelle was just probably the toughest one that he actually liked, that wasn't fully giving him everything, and then he fully got everything, and she put Miss James on a jersey, and then his red spidey senses went off, and he's like, yeah, actually no, you gotta leave, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then so then the next day he's supposed to have a date with Rachel. Chris Harrison shows up. I don't know if you guys saw this. I saw a few tweets about it. He was like leaned on the door, like very like it kind of was like a seductive, like lean on the
Yeah.
door, like, hey Rach. It's like, yo, Chris, like, just
I mean, he's single.
I know he definitely hits on these girls, like 100% does.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
he cancels on Rachel, and Rachel was obviously clearly very upset. I don't know, like I just like he ends up picking her, so why cancel?
I don't know.
Probably the producers just saying, hey, kind of build up some drama here that we only have one girl left.
I don't think the producers
Really
are
make her
doing
want
this.
to like.
I really don't think producers are doing. I think Matt is just like that indecisive / like stupid. Like I just it could be a little bit of producers, but like I don't know. Like he was pretty upset and stuff, and it's like, dude, you're the fucking one who sent her home. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's
it was a
somehow,
tough
some way, he was worse than Pete.
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
He was.
Yeah, and you know, it was just, and we were talking about it. So then the next day, obviously, he sends her a note, and like one of you were like, "Is she standing him up?" And I was like, "I fucking hope so. Like that would be awesome." Like,
Yeah.
But he obviously doesn't, and then he picks her basically and says, you know, I don't want to get engaged right now, but I also don't want to lose you. And her face like lit up, like
Yeah, it was. She was more happy than what she should have been.
I know.
when he said the words, I want to still be with you, her face like lit up, like, oh my God, yes, this is all I ever wanted. It was like, holy shit.
Like
So
that'd be like if you propose to a girl and she says no, I feel like that would be the end of it. Like I don't know if I could continue to date her.
well, she didn't say no.
I know. I'm just saying, flip
You're
roles.
saying because he's technically supposed to propose.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. I love how we talked about this too, kind of skimmed over. We didn't even talk about that part, but like he's picking out the rings, and all three of us were like, he's fucking just taking this ring for no goddamn reason.
yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
you know, he's not using this. But no, I get what you're saying. But also like if he would have, I could have. What if he would have just been like, "Nah, I'm not picking anyone," even though Michelle's not here either. I'm not picking you either. Like that would have been just.
Part of me thought that that's like deep down what he wanted to do was just like not pick either. But he was like, well, I guess I like Rachel the most out of all of them. So like I'll date her for a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't.
That's basically what Pete did with Hannah Ann.
Yeah.
But he it actually got engaged though, and then Hannah Ann was like, "Wait, you wanted to pick Madison and Madison left? Like, I didn't know that."
Such
So
an
like,
idiot.
so like Pete at least got engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they like then Hannah saw everything and was like, wait, I thought you actually picked me. Because you remember he didn't tell her at all
No.
that Madison went home on her own. Like he just thought that.
Congrats, one by default.
Yeah. So but yeah, similar to like what an idiot. But yeah, I don't know. It was tough, man. It was tough to watch just because like
Yeah.
I don't know if the producers were pulling his strings certain ways. I don't know if it was him, but like you said, Allie, like I just don't think he wanted to pick anyone. I think he enjoyed his time. He
Yeah.
probably was a little exhausted with all the bowling going on and all that shit during the time. So he probably was like, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And he had his fun. And like, I think we all could agree him and Michelle were probably the best fit. Like,
Mhm.
and he just sent her home. So that
And
was
plus, like, I think because he's never been through the actual process before, he probably felt pressured that he had to pick someone, even though he was like, I don't really like any of these people.
for
Well,
sure.
and Mike, you said they're the best fit. I think they were the best fit before everything came out with like she didn't or he didn't give her the opportunity to get closure just with the conversation. And then when you see like the after the final rose, like her maturity level is just like I think
Oh
just
yeah.
too much for him to comprehend.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
I
saying
just
like
think I think she's too good for Matt. So I'm
well,
glad she didn't go with him.
I'm saying picking from his perspective, she's the
Yeah,
best option for him to
yeah,
pick for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and I agree with you because then it came out that like when he did try to send her home after the rose ceremony, and she's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to talk to him. Like, I wanted some closure," which like makes sense. Like these girls fell in love with you, and they were
right.
there for 3 months, and they put all their jobs on hold. They did everything this and that, and like Michelle seemed like a genuine person. So like it didn't seem like she was there for fame or anything like that. Like seemed like she was there just to fall in love.
Yeah.
And he can't even give her 2 minutes to talk.
Yeah. That just shows his mature, like, he couldn't, I don't think he could see her or else he'd like get emotional or like he'd start to, be like, oh my God, maybe I'm a bad person for this. Like, yeah, Matt, you are.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, yeah, you are like, you got. I mean, you make your bed, you got to lay in it. You're the one who's sending this chick home before even the rose ceremony. The closer she could have gotten was you fucking let her go to the rose ceremony. And you just pick Rachael. She would be like, okay, I understand, I'm out. Like I just didn't understand
Yeah,
like how
I
he's
don't
like
get it.
I couldn't talk to her. It's like, dude, you could have had a simple solution. Go on the date with Rachael and then fucking invite both of them there and then just pick Rachael. Once Michelle
Yeah.
leaves, then you can say, hey, I don't want to get engaged, Rachael. And she, like we both Saul was super excited just to date him. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, Matt, dude, you could have solved this problem to begin with. And then at the rose ceremony, when he's talking to her, he's like, if I would have known that's what you wanted to talk about, I would have went and talked to you. What do you fucking think she was going to
No,
talk about?
I
Sports?
Ugh.
Like, I didn't understand. Like, when he said that, I was like, "You think you were going to solve cancer for her?" Like, I don't know what she just wanted closure. You're sending her
Yeah.
home. Uh,
Yeah. His maturity level. But I want to say it was interesting watching the after the final rose, and then you can see like Rachel's lack of maturity because like just watching her, how often she tried to touch him, like touch his shoulder, touch his hand, like
yeah.
he was not even leaning towards her, like he did not want anything to do with it, and she's just like missing these signs altogether.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah. I also think that like she is super immature. I mean, she's only 23, 24 years old. And I think like she just had no clue what to do also. Like,
yeah,
she's going on this knowing that like it's going to be, I mean, attacking, but rightfully so. But like she knows she's going to get attacked. So it's like,
yeah,
I mean, she probably does no clue what the fuck to do. But
yeah,
it's just like when when she said to Matt's mom, speaking of like the maturity, Rachel was like, "Yeah, in all my years, I've figured it out." It's like you're 23 fucking years old, in all your
yeah,
years. Like, come on, come on.
yeah. I was like, Rachel.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, and then obviously, so him and Michelle talk. I thought Michelle liked to make jokes too. Like I think that shows like what type of person she is. Like she
Yeah.
legit, I think, forgave him, which is like I would just be
Yeah.
like, fuck this dude. But she made the joke like, hopefully you learn not to kiss with your eyes open. I mean, you said it the one where it was like he's, went open mouth, and it was like, is Matt James the worst reality TV kisser ever? Like,
Oh my! Every single one. It was like his mouth was going into those kisses. I'm like, oh,
so he
don't
got,
be upset, Rachel or Michelle. Like this,
so he,
you are not missing out with him.
he closed his eyes, but then he went to that.
I know,
That's
like
what's
he was
funny.
overcompensating in like the worst way.
Yes, exactly. But then, obviously the big topic, Rachel comes out, has her talk. Before that though, Emmanuel Ocho or Acho, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his last name. He did a phenomenal job, I thought,
Yeah.
hosting it. I think he was a sports guy. I don't know how much he knew about The Bachelor, but I think he put a lot of like research in and everything like that. And I think he knew his shit. He asked great questions, and he was very open minded about everything too, which I think is like crucial. And he had a lot of great quotes too, like were his own, but were a lot of great quotes. So I thought he did a phenomenal job. I'm sure he was probably super nervous. I mean, it's a totally different ball game that he's jumping into. I mean, he was a sports anchor, and now he's doing a reality TV show, so couldn't have been easy. But I thought he knocked it out of the park.
I think with Chris, if he would have been there, that Rachel's situation that got brought up, like after the recordings and all that, that probably would have been like a 5 or 10 minute conversation.
It would not have been put in as much. I agree.
No, it would have been more of like, it'd been, well, Matt, why did you not pick? It would have been more on Matt not picking someone when Emmanuel like actually kind of like got down to like what's important. And like,
Right.
also I think it helps that Mike, you said yesterday, I think it helps that he's African American, so
Yeah,
he can ask the those kind of questions
for sure.
And I like how he kind of like allowed the silence. Like he wanted there to be like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's
where Chris
good.
would like come up with something else to like switch the topic,
Yes.
but he really like, we all felt that like silence.
Yes. And there was that one where it was like, is anyone gonna say anything? Like it just kept being silent. I was like, oh,
I was thinking, is that why they cut to commercial?
maybe, or maybe they did it. They could have edited it dramatically even more and then cut to commercial.
Because they like, even after they got back from commercial break, there's still like 30 seconds of silence.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and like obviously this isn't a true live one like it normally is. Like this was filmed like 2 weeks ago, so like they were able to edit and do stuff. Like obviously Bree, she had a sit down that was just not even put in at all. So, I mean, who knows what was said during that? Did you listen to the podcast, Allie, that I sent you?
I listened to some of it, but I didn't hear all of it.
I didn't listen to it either. I didn't listen to it either. I was just wondering if like she said stuff in it about it, but like it, like I saw people post about it, but I didn't see like anyone be like, "Oh, Bree said this." You know what I mean? So maybe she did kind of like a normal interview, but everyone was like just trying to hype her up. But yeah, so like Rachel clearly had her problems, and you know what? Like it's probably for the best of them that they are not together. Like I don't know. It just seemed like from Matt's eyes of this whole season, didn't seem like he wanted to find anyone necessarily, or he didn't think anyone in that room was for him. So like maybe it's just getting out before it could have led to different or further down the road, and then he would have to make the decision. But there are rumors now that Matt and Heather are together.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope they are.
Yeah, I said this to you. Like I said, like I think if it was up to Matt, she would have been kept on the show.
Right.
Like
I agree.
The way the girls reacted, I think the producers were like, we've had bullying going on the last 3 fucking weeks. We just can't do this.
Yeah.
But I think he would have kept her.
Well, who was it that, like, apparently, she's his mom's like wearing her clothing line or something like that. Like,
yeah, she was either wearing it or promoting it or something. Like she wrote some caption or something with her like specific hashtag that Heather uses for her clothing line or something.
And see, like we know with Pete and Kelly that the mom, if she has the woman's seal of approval, that usually means they're canoodling or something.
There's also like a few similarities. Is like Heather was in the tell-all, they cut her out.
Yep.
Kelly was in the one or the final show or something, they cut her out because they were dating. So it's like, I mean, all those things line up. They said that they were in the same city in California, which is like a small ass city. It's like, why would they both be there at the same time? Because like it's not like someplace that you just randomly visit by yourself. And then and Matt lives in New York, so he definitely had to like go there. And then when she was back in New York, he was back in New York. So it's like,
well, if they are together, well, Heather better not buy him a jersey, and she better not ask where his head's at, because then she's just gonna get the boot. Because
yeah, I mean,
never find a relationship.
No,
like
it's all fun and games.
Just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be like, it'll be interesting. Like if he is with her, like first off, like Rachel fucked up, obviously, but like, I mean, she would have to be absolutely devastated. Like,
yeah,
she was up on that stage, like clearly still in love with him, and he was definitely tapped out. I mean, at no point in that conversation did I think he was even like thinking, oh, I could forgive her. Oh, we could potentially get back together. Nothing. It was like straight no, like we're, she's got to figure all this out on her own, and I hope she has a good life. Like,
and then like when Emmanuel, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when he said at the end, he was like, "Do you guys want one final embrace?" And she like turned to him, was like smiled, thinking he was.
Yeah, that was tough to watch, because like, she was like hoping like, okay, maybe like just like a hug goodbye, like, but I'm also wondering, how was it when the cameras cut off? Because it's like only 6 people in that room. It's not like it's,
I don't know.
Like it's not like it's a full audience, or like you have multiple people. It's like cameraman, a few producers, those 3, and then like maybe Michelle and Katie like walk over there just to make it not as awkward. Like it's not many people. So like, do they hug? Does she just walk off? Does Matt just try to get the hell out of there? Like that had to have been so awkward.
Oh yeah. I know, that's a good question. I mean, to be a fly on that wall would actually have been interesting.
Exactly.
I can't imagine they literally just like turn around and walk separate ways. I'm sure
that's what I'm saying.
Some things were. I would think some things were said,
or at least like a hug goodbye. Like like just hug, and then we both go our separate ways. But I thought it was, so they announced the next 2 Bachelorettes. Katie, her season I think is starting like very soon, and then is going to be aired in May or June, so it'll be a summer season. And then Michelle's season I think is going to be filmed over the summer and then aired in the fall. So they announced both those. I think like Katie kind of got leaked, and I think like Ryan, you said it, a bunch of people thought that she was going to be one. And then Michelle, I mean, I didn't think she was like, none of us thought she was kind of like the Bachelorette type.
No.
Yeah.
But I think the producers, like after everything that happened, I think they probably were like begging her, like, you'd be perfect, like wholesome person, like a good person. So they announced that. What do you guys think about those 2?
I like both of them. I mean, I think they're.
I don't know how I feel about Kate, but like Michelle, I definitely am like, oh, okay, she deserves it.
I think
but maybe Abigail, like.
Yeah, I think Katie's season will be interesting though, because I think she has a little bit of like not a controlling aspect, but like she knows how to play the cards. So like this whole season, like she was doing a lot of good things, but like she knew what she was doing the entire fucking time. Like,
yeah,
I wanted to be the one to tell Matt, like there's 40 other fucking people.
She has I think she has a Bachelorette personality.
Well, that's
I
my
agree.
point. Yeah, like I think she will play cards and like do this different stuff. Like I think she will make it very interesting. I personally, and then yeah, like you said, Allie, Michelle deserves it. She's great. She's perfect. Like
Now, I think she deserves it, but I don't think that necessarily means it's going to be a good season.
no, I agree. It might not
Um,
be that good of a season.
yeah, I feel like she's very go with the flow. Like I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of the guys on her season could pretty much just like do whatever they want.
Well, what I don't get is like why don't they match these people with like the personalities of the people that
Yeah,
they're like Michelle's season needs to be like very mature. Like if they put her with a bunch of 22-year-old dudes who like are just now leaving their fraternities at their colleges, like that's not
Yeah,
who Michelle's gonna fucking pick or like. Like
right.
pick
right.
people who are
But they
28,
all, but
29.
they need that though. Like I didn't think. I mean, they put Victoria in Matt's season. There's no way Victoria was going to win. Um,
True.
They did
Now, who
possible.
is the who is in Hannah B's season? The blonde that no one like, literally everyone hated.
Luke P.
So if Luke P was in Michelle's season, now okay, let's use Luke P as the example. If he's in Katie's season, Katie's gonna walk all over him and pretty much tell him to pack his bags.
Yeah,
Now if he's in Michelle's season, I feel like he's gonna get away with a lot more than if he was in Katie's.
I could see that with Michelle. She is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like Michelle knows what she wants though. Like I feel like she can sniff out the bullshit and she'll just kind of but I mean, who fucking knows? Producers might be like, "Yo, keep this person on a little longer or this or that."
Right.
Um but I hope Bachelor in Paradise. I saw some tweets like Maddie and these other few people are hanging out now. They think that they're all in Bachelor in Paradise and I haven't heard anything about it. I think that needs to come back. I think there's been so many good people the past few seasons that like have not won, have not done this, that could make Bachelor in Paradise real interesting.
Wait,
And
which
Bachelor
one's
in
Maddie?
Paradise would be like, it would be like Maddie from Peter's season. You mean?
Maddie, the one that Maddie from Peter's season.
Yeah,
Oh, duh, never mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
Madison.
yeah.
Yeah.
Madison. Yeah, I could honestly, and Bachelor in Paradise is like perfect for a pandemic because it's just all these people isolated on an island for.
Well, that's what like it doesn't change much of what they do anyways because they're isolated at this one resort. So it's like this is the perfect time to do it.
Exactly. I'm like, it better happen.
So are they doing back-to-back Bachelorette seasons or are they squeezing in a Bachelor in there?
See, I don't know. Well, no, because usually the Bachelor isn't until next year. So like there won't be another Bachelor till 2022.
Yeah, I think
That
it'll be
sucks.
like around the same time that Matt started this year will be when the next
Yep.
Bachelor starts. I wonder who that'll be.
Any predictions?
I have none. Like the home run hit would be TC Tyler Cameron, but I feel like he fucking wants nothing to do with that.
I agree. Yeah. He'd be great though.
He'd be perfect, and it would be awesome. But like, I feel like he would just be like, not in a million years. Like, why do I need to? I can get whatever I want right now.
Right.
Like,
Pretty much.
yeah,
He's with Gigi Hadid. Like
yeah, like that's
he's basically his
pretty
own Bachelor.
exactly. That's pretty famous right there. That's famous. So like, what does
Yeah.
he need? So I have no clue who would be on it next. But they got. I mean, they would probably announce it here shortly, right, or towards the summer.
It'd probably be at the end of Katie's season, maybe.
Yeah, and then I wonder what they'll do. Like I do think having to be in like the COVID restriction quarantine, like that just kind of sucks because like
Yeah.
you're all right there. You don't get to talk to anybody else, so it's like everyone's cooped up at this one place, like and it's not like a Bachelor in Paradise where it's 30 women. It's not that many, but like 15 girls and 15 dudes. Like this is just all girls, one guy. It'll be all guys, one girl. Like there's so many it limits so much shit you have to do that I feel like that definitely had like a little strain on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, they aren't even in like the outside world. Like usually they can travel other places. I'm sure that like helps with the competition, but like just all these women who are stuck in one place and never see anything else with this one guy, like that would have me on edge too.
That's probably why they fell in love so quickly. It's like the only guy they saw in 3 months.
Yeah,
Like,
except for
it's
like
the
interns or the,
Yeah, it's like the cheerleader effect though. Like, like you're in class and like some chick looks hot to you in class, then you walk out and you see multiple women and you're like, oh wait, she was not that good looking. Like, you know what I mean? Like they probably fell in love with Matt for sure because of that, even more. So
yeah, the only man in a 5-mile radius.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure all the producers and cameramen are like 40s or 50s. Like they're not really, doing it for them. But any last words, any final thoughts, any last things you had on the season that you guys want to get off your chest?
Honestly, I'm kind of getting like for the Bachelor, like, because I just started watching Pete's season. That was the first one I watched, and so far I'm 0 for 2 with the Bachelor actually getting a wife or a fiance, like a legit one.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I'm going to give it. If it's just gonna be like this every time,
would you have felt different if they were still dating? Like
probably.
Like
I mean, at least they're honest. Like I mean, like I appreciated Matt's honesty. Like, look, I'm not ready to get engaged, but then like she screwed up, and that now I'm not gonna blame Matt for them breaking up because I think he did the right thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think it would like. But I think
it was just kind of, it was just weird. The whole thing was weird.
I think it was weird. But I think it would be like it may be a little better if Rachel wasn't like had all those crazy shit come out. Like if they were still together, maybe it'd be like if we saw them, they were actually together, it'd be like okay. Yeah. But yeah, like how everything happened and then him not picking basically anyone was kind of like wild. But
and then Pete getting back with Kelly, even though she shouldn't have been voted off anyway, or she should have got a rose. It's just the last 2 years. Maybe I just got in at the wrong time.
They need to start getting that are like 28, 29, like starting to become 30 that actually want to be married. Like they're picking 24, 25-year-old guys that are like,
well, that's
be married.
that's the thing. That's the thing though, is like, think about it. Like he probably should have picked Michelle. Michelle's a 27-year-old woman who's a teacher who is ready to get married. Okay. Like in Pete's season, like he's with Katie or Kelly now. He probably should have picked her anyways, but Hannah Ann and Maddie and all those Victoria are all younger.
Yeah.
Probably better looking, more fun, and they're way more fun for that little aspect of it. And then you're like, oh fuck, they don't want to get married. Like,
yeah.
It's like, dude, like, yeah, if we weed out the younger ones, like, hey, you might actually get fucking married.
Yeah. And then people will like want to watch the show, because I feel like we're watching it because because we're like, oh my gosh, like 6 weeks and they're going to get engaged after only spending like 24 hours together. Like how wild. We love it.
Right.
Like, so glad it's not us.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Then it doesn't happen. And we're all like, why are we watching?
That's another Friday night for all single people where you just talk to a bunch of people and strike out. Like,
yeah.
So, what about you, Allie? Any last words on the season?
Honestly, no. Just other than maybe they should just start picking like older men, or I don't know. I mean, they have those ads now that are like, if you're a senior or whatever,
yeah,
looking for love.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting if they did like if they start doing the 2-for and they do 2 bachelors back to back and 2 bachelorettes back to back, and they did like one 28-year-old and then all the people in their season are like 28, and they did like a 23-year-old and all the people in their season are 23, because I feel like at the end of the 23-year-old season, like in our heads we'll be like, okay, they're probably not getting engaged, so I'm not going to expect that, and everyone there is probably on the same page too, so it's like it'll be more dramatic, more entertaining, and then you get the one where it's actually more serious, and it's so it's like, I agree. I think they do need to switch that up for sure. Because Matt,
that'd be a social experiment too.
How many girls did you see on Matt's season? Was like, oh, they're 22. It's like he's 26 or 27 or 28.
He's 28. Like he's like 8 years older than Kit.
Yeah, exactly. Like Kit was like, yeah, we can get married. I just have to finish school. It's like school. He's fucking been out of there for 10 years.
Oh, and we can't log off. We have to talk about his beard. Yes, it was just bad.
It was perfect because the TikTok or the tweets and everything of like, tell me you're single without telling me you're single have been going around a lot, and like I think Allie sent it and it was like, tell me you're single without telling me you're single.
Yeah.
And like, that was a perfect picture. Like,
Well, and then on the camera, like it was like his beard was like glistening. Like I was like, why is your beard wet?
and to your point about the beard, the tell all, like, I don't think any of the girls really liked it.
I didn't think they did either.
Yeah, like when he walked out and he had the beard, like you saw a few of them like look at each other like, the fuck did this dude
We
do to
dodged a bullet.
Yeah, like he kisses with his eyes open and now he has his beard. What are we
Yeah, he
doing?
spent 3 months in Philadelphia, he turned into a lumberjack.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know.
He
Yeah,
had to grow a physical barrier between him and Rachael, like so
Yep.
that she wouldn't come close to him.
yeah. Rachael, you look like you're 23. I look like I could be your dad now.
Yeah.
But all right, so we will be back once another reality TV show starts airing. I think maybe we'll do Siesta Key, but that probably won't be for another month or so. In the meantime, though, Allie has her podcast that'll be releasing episodes coming up, so go tune into those every week.
I'm recording 2 this week, so get excited.
There you go. So she's got hers. So, and then we will tweet when we are coming back and everything. So we appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll see everyone in a little bit.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.